According to certain economic literature, cities can be rather banally assimilated to a donut, with one business center and concentric residential rings. In fact, cities are the result of an historical process of accumulation and integration, where the institutional thickness and the cultural strata are relevant to understand the present situation and to focus future scenarios. Cultural, social, economic, political layers cut across our cities and produce unexpected forms of hybridization, which represent the authentic soul of cities and their original nature that stands against pressing tendencies to homologation. These cities bear centuries of history, and sometimes even more. Their heritage is not only the one that appears to tourists, the cultural brand which is able to market that specific place. Their intangible heritage appears above all in the tacit knowledge and hybrid representation of the urban complexity. Nowadays, in many multicultural cities, the majority tend to prevail over the ethnic or religious minorities. They use everywhere the same kind of keywords. So, modernization of the country, liberalization of the economy, preservation of the identity. But in fact, they are willing to erase, in many cases, any precious cultural form of coexistence and hybridization. That's why many scholars believe that a one-fit-all model of global city might be dangerous if it does not explicitly take into account the specifics of the urban space. According to the economic geographer Alan Scott, under this perspective, we should not consider only urban hierarchies, but also urban and regional systems of different sizes and different density. We should look more at regional networks and not only at transcontinental links. And eventually we should learn from the interaction among the different local institutions. The multicultural city should be the ideal place where we protect and reproduce cultural diversity. According to the UNESCO Convention on the Protection and Promotion of the Cultural Diversity, this concept refers to the manifold ways in which the cultures of groups and societies find expression. As in Article 4 of the same convention, cultural diversity is made manifest not only through the varied ways in which the cultural heritage of humanity is expressed, augmented and transmitted through the variety of cultural expressions, but also through diverse modes of artistic creation, production, dissemination, distribution and enjoyment, whatever the means and the technology used. I would like to take the example of Istanbul. Istanbul is a multicultural city where communities have lived and done business together for centuries. Istanbul is also the largest city in Turkey and in Europe, in fact, with a population of almost 14 million of inhabitants. The city forms one of the largest urban agglomerations on the earth. The latest convergence of interests between local authorities, government policies and international capitals has recently recombined the elements of this millennial coexistence like in a kaleidoscope to create the image of what the geographer Edward Soja has called the fractal city. In the fractal city, the public space is reduced and very often disappears. The urban texture breaks up into detached islands through the construction of shopping malls, gated communities, housing settlements, business centers, car parks, airports, cruise harbors, and so on. So the traditional polarities, core periphery, urban rural, have probably collapsed in this case. It is not any more possible to recognize borders, meaning areas of exchange, of communication, of integration across the different communities in the city. According to another sociologist, Richard Sennett, new tangible boundaries cut across the scattered picture of many cities and replicate lines of segregation between communities and people.